More bad news for Dazn. It looks like the IBF has ordered Canelo Alvarez to fight IBF mandatory Sergey Derevyanchenko. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Now, some very unsettling news. Shout out to Mike Coppinger. He's the first to report this. And a very interesting decision according to his findings. It says sources. The IBF today ordered a middleweight title fight between Canelo Alvarez and Sergey Derevyanchenko and notified both camps for each fighter they have 30 days to complete a deal before a purse bid is ordered. Canelo added the IBF belt to his collection with his win over Danny Jacobs. And then Mike Coppinger goes on to say, IBF is notorious for not allowing any exceptions. It was Derevyanchenko who was the IBF mandatory for Triple G's title. Golovkin fought Vanes and was stripped. Sergey fought Jacobs for the vacant title and lost. After beating Jack Kukale in the Eliminator last month, Sergey gets another crack. He goes on to say, it is expected that Canelo will fight Triple G in a trilogy fight in September. And if that plan goes forward, it's likely Alvarez will be stripped of his IBF title, or Alvarez can go through with the Derevyanchenko fight. So, obviously, we have to wait for an official ruling, but that is not good for a variety of reasons. Because, okay, Golovkin already did this and he got stripped. He didn't fight Derevyanchenko. I think his was a little bit different because he's the one that chose to fight in May when Canelo failed a drug test for clenbuterol, and he said he was going to keep the date. So his made more sense, but Golovkin still got the Canelo fight, and Canelo just fought Danny Jacobs, who beat Sergey Derevyanchenko for the IBF strap. His first fight was with Canelo, and, he secured it. Canelo secured that bag. This, I don't like this ruling because it puts Dazn in a tight spot, because Canelo versus Sergey Derevyanchenko to me is really not a blockbuster fight, but it could be a priority for him or get stripped. So you got to just look at it. So basically Canelo he said this is, I'm just going off of what we know. If this is true, which, sounds like it could be true because the IBF and some of the sanctioning bodies do these things, then that means a few things. One, Canelo said he wants to be undisputed. So if he does want to truly be undisputed, I don't see why you wouldn't fight your mandatory and get stripped to fight Golovkin. Plus, he told Golovkin to get a belt, right? And the only other belt is Demetrius Andrade, who's already fighting Zaleski. Golovkin can't, if the IBF orders Canelo versus Derevyanchenko, Golovkin can't just supersede that and say, yo, I'll fight Derevyanchenko to get a belt and then I'll fight Canelo. Because he can't, they're ordering the champion to fight the mandatory. Derevyanchenko just fought Jack Kukale on the PBC undercard to become that was an eliminator, to become the #1 mandatory. Then he got past Kukale, and the fight got kind of close towards the end. And now they're saying Canelo, if he wants to keep the belt, basically he has to fight Derevyanchenko. So puts Dazn in a tight squeeze. For one, Canelo versus Derevyanchenko, I don't think is a big fight. Jack Kukale versus Derevyanchenko, as I just mentioned, was on a PBC undercard. It might have been Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados. I don't remember which one, but it was just recently. It's a cool fight, fun fight. He got hurt. Derevyanchenko got hurt and stuff like that. And if Canelo has to face him, I don't see that being a big money-making fight. So they might opt to push for Canelo versus Triple G. But the bad thing with the DAZN setup is they're paying Canelo a ton of money. And let's say he fights Derevyanchenko. So you're going to pay him $32, $35 million for a Derevyanchenko fight, and you're not going to get much return on that. Because if the numbers for Canelo just came back in Vegas and he did 8.6 million in a unification with Daniel Jacobs on Cinco de Mayo weekend, on Mexican Independence Day weekend, what type of numbers do you think a fight with Derevyanchenko would do? clearly less than that, because Derevyanchenko is not as known as Jacobs is, nor does he have the resume of Jacobs. So if that fight did that, then you can definitely expect it. But rules are rules. So either Canelo can abide by the rules and have like a smaller fight for Dazn, take care of that, and then Dazn is going to be coming out of pocket, shelling out $35 million or whatever their agreement is to fulfill his contract, which is lucrative, $365 million for 10 fights or whatever. Or, maybe Canelo has enough pull to get, the silver lining would be if Canelo and Golden Boy have enough pull to somehow hold off on the Derevyanchenko fight and, strike up a deal and say, hey, we want to fight Triple G next. Let him cut in front and pay some step aside money or something. And if the IBF goes for that, then that's one option. But we don't know. We don't know if they'll give that option. But the worst case scenario is Canelo fights Derevyanchenko. I just don't think that's that big of a fight, despite what you feel about the fight stylistically or whatever. Coming off the Jack Kukle performance, I don't think it's a big fight. But again, rules are rules. Or he could just say, F that, I'm Canelo. I don't have to fight for a title. But then that goes against what he said he wanted, which is undisputed at middleweight. That puts you a step further. So this is a real finicky, this is a real fickle position to be in. Quite a conundrum. You go against what you said is being undisputed and let them strip you and just say, I'm Canelo. I call the shots. I fight who I want to fight. And then give Golovkin a fight, even though he's only fighting Steve Rolls. And he's not fighting, and he doesn't have a belt like Canelo said. He said, I'll fight you again. Go get a belt. Or you fight Derevyanchenko. And, I don't know how big of a fight that is. Especially if Dazn, that's going to operate most likely at a loss to Dazn, unless you guys in your heart of all hearts believe that Canelo versus Derevyanchenko somehow does better than Canelo versus Jacob. So very sticky position. Can't wait to see who Canelo decides to fight for September. Will he budge and try to give Dazn the bigger of the two fights, even though Triple G is only fighting Steve Rolls? And see, this is the other thing that's hard. Triple G, if they've been given 30 days, I don't even know if the Triple G Steve Rolls outcome, this is a sticky situation. This is like the worst situation that can happen. Because today's May 15th, right? If they have 30 days to agree to a fight, they're going to have to make their decision prior to the Golovkin Rolls fight. Actually, I don't know the exact date of Golovkin Rolls. I mean, I could look it up. I know it's June. I thought it was towards the end of June. But they might have to have made their decision by that point. So they can't even see how Golovkin looks necessarily before their decision is made. Let me check. I'm pulling it up. I remember the fight. That's it. Oh, he's fighting him June 8th. So I guess they will have, by the time so they have some time. So never mind on that point. But either way, it's a sticky situation because Canelo says Golovkin needs to get a belt. So now what does he do? Because I know Dazn has to be wanting a big fight, like an even bigger fight than the Jacobs for profit reason. So Canelo Triple G is probably their go-to because they keep talking about it. It's probably their go-to fight that they want to make. But I don't know. Canelo, that's what happens when you're champion. You have to worry and work out these little kinks. Let me know how you think it's going to get resolved, but I just don't see Canelo Derevyanchenko doing many numbers. But if he doesn't fight him, he runs the risk of possibly getting stripped, and that in itself goes against what Canelo said he wants at middleweight, which is undisputed supremacy. Actually, that makes this fight, what's the point of even fighting Jacobs right away if you let them strip your belt right away? You feel what I'm saying? Like even Golovkin in his situation, he had the IBF since the Lemieux fight. So from the Lemieux fight all the way until he didn't fight Derevyanchenko right before the Canelo Triple G. But, what was the point? What was the merit of unifying if your very next fight you get stripped? Sticky situation. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.